My name is Liz and I'm a registered dietitian at the UNC Wellness Center. Today I want to go ahead and talk to you a little bit about plant-based diets. I know I've done a video in the past where we talked about plant-based and swapping out some of your animal sources of protein for plant proteins. So today we're going to make tofu tacos. And the great thing about tofu is it's like a sponge and it will pick up any flavor that you cook it in. So this is a great one to go ahead and use any kind of Mexican seasonings that you like to give it some flair. So the first thing is we have our block of tofu. And we're going to, if you ever buy tofu, you'll notice it comes in a little pouch with water in it. And that's to keep it all fresh. Now you want to go ahead and drain that fluid out. Then you have your just block of tofu. We're going to take it and kind of stand it on its end. We're going to cut it in half. So you have two pieces like so. Take each of those, cut that half in half lengthwise, and then that half in half. So you're going to have 4 strips of each block for a sum total of 8. Then you're going to take each one of those strips, and we're going to place them, I'm going to keep them together, put them on a piece of paper towel. And then we're going to put them back on our cutting board. Take the second half of that paper towel, flip it right on top. Take another cutting board and just lay it on top. You want something that has a little bit of pressure to it to help drain out all that fluid. Why do you want to drain out the fluid? Because if you try cooking the tofu when it's too wet, you're not going to crisp it up. And for this particular recipe, we do want the tofu to get a nice crispy coating on the outside. So this takes about 10 minutes. So go ahead and put your tofu underneath the cutting board on a paper towel, let that drain, and then we will go to the next step as soon as we get back. Okay, it's been about 10 minutes, so we're going to take our cutting board off of our tofu, unwrap them. You can see there's quite a bit of fluid on my paper towel. So we're going to take these and just put them on a plate. Next is when we're going to go through and season them. So we are going to, if you have a silicone brush, that works the best because you're going to want to brush these because you want something for the taco seasoning to adhere to. So just put a little bit of olive oil on your brush and we're just going to paint. So as I'm painting, let's talk a little bit about tofu and what is it? What in the world is tofu? It's actually made from soybeans. It's the curd of the soybeans. And they smash it all together and they put it in this block. And like I mentioned earlier, it's like a sponge. It will soak up any flavor. So you'll see a lot of times, sometimes tofu is used a lot in Asian dishes because it can soak up the teriyaki or the soy sauce or whatever flavors you like to use with that. Mexican dishes is also another really good one because of the strong flavor. And all right, I went ahead and I brushed the first set. And I'm just going to take my taco seasoning and just sprinkle it on. This, yes, I shop at Costco. This is a giant container of taco seasoning. We do a lot of Taco Tuesday or Mexican night in our family, so I end up using this quite frequently. So I'm just going to go ahead, and so this is where you can flavor it to whatever likings you have. If you really want to give it a little bit more flair and maybe add some extra chili powder to it to give it a little extra kick, you're welcome to. Like I've mentioned in the past, my family, mostly myself, is liking a little bit on the less spicy side. So we'll just go ahead and do that. And then we're going to flip them over and do the same thing on the other side. So back to our topic of what in the world is tofu. I mentioned what it is. Now, why on earth would anyone want to swap out their chicken or their beef for tofu in their tacos? Well, it is loaded with all kinds of wonderful things, something called antioxidants, phytoestrogens, which are really good against cancer, and sometimes you just need to give meat a break and just have something that's an animal source or a non-animal source of protein. All right, so we're getting the second side of our tofu coated. with our taco seasoning. All right, now we're going to take it over to the stove and we are going to cook it. See you over at the stove. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and cook them. So like I mentioned in the past, I like to use my cast iron skillet grill pan. So I went ahead and generously oiled it. And now we're gonna go ahead and I heated it up. And then we're gonna place our tofu on our pan. So one of the really good things about cooking tofu in a pan like this, you can also grill it outside if you wanted to. The great thing about this is, if you think about chicken, you think about beef, it obviously has to be cooked to a certain temperature. If it's too under, you can go ahead and have foodborne illness. If it's too over, you might destroy the piece of meat. This doesn't really matter. So I have it about a medium-high heat, and it's kind of just doing its thing, cooking away. You're gonna want the outside to get crispy, and then we're gonna go ahead and flip it. About 5 minutes on each side. So like I was mentioning about some of the health benefits of tofu, like I said, it's a great way to go ahead and swap out your meat sources. Tofu can be, like I said, really good in Asian dishes, really good in Mexican dishes. I've done tofu chicken tenders before. You just bake them in the oven. As long as you put a nice crispy coating on the outside, like panko or something like that, you can go ahead and do that. There's a ton of options out there. You just have to try to experiment with it a little bit. And yes, I will say it's not going to taste like chicken. A lot of people think, oh, well, you know what, I'll just swap it out and I'll just, it'll taste like chicken. Well, no, it really doesn't. It has a different texture, it has a different flavor. It'll have, obviously, on this particular recipe, have the Mexican flavors, but it doesn't taste like chicken. It doesn't have that consistency. Same thing like when you swap out cow's milk for soy milk. It has a grittier flavor, a taste, texture to it, because it comes from a bean. So I don't expect anyone to be like, oh, well, you told me it's going to taste like chicken and it didn't. Well, no, it's not going to taste like chicken. So don't go into it thinking that's going to taste like chicken. I want you to go into it with an open mind and try it and tell me what you think. I think you'll be quite surprised. So our tofu is cooking away. And like I said, it takes about 5 minutes on each side. All right, let's go ahead and flip our tofu. I just got these really great baby tongs. I'm super excited to use them. Yes, you'll see this particular grill pan I'm using obviously has the grill marks on it, so mine's gonna have that. You just flip them over, pop them a little bit because of the oil. Make sure you don't take the time to clean your stove before you make this recipe, because you might get some of the oil to splatter about. And then you have to go back through and clean your stove again. All right, while these are finishing cooking, I'm going to talk about a few other things that I have out here. I went ahead and, to save you some time, I went ahead and bought the bag of tri-colored cabbage slaw, the unflavored kind. It doesn't have any sauce in it, just the cabbage. This is a great alternative to using sliced lettuce, because lettuce doesn't really provide much of a nutritional value. At least iceberg lettuce doesn't. Sorry, my cat was about to jump in where I got that cord, so I have to make sure she didn't do that. So anyway, so I have this cabbage. This is a great one to put in there in place of your lettuce. We're going to use that. Today, I went ahead and just have some Mexican cold cheddar jack cheese, but you can use whatever you want in here. A great option would be cotija, which is a Mexican cheese. It's very similar to a Parmesan. Really, really, really good. I also have a little wedge of lemon, because who doesn't love lemon on their tacos? And then I have just a little bit of salsa. So just give it a little dollop. So let's check our tofu. I think we are about done. Yes, our tofu looks great. It's crispy on both sides. It looks excellent. So we're going to turn that off. And we are going to take our, I'm going to move that out of the way there, because I want to show you something that you can do. I just have regular flour tortillas, nothing fancy. You can use corn, whatever one you like. I happen to have flour ones on hand in my house. Start that stove going again, about a medium heat. You can, if you have a gas grill, you can just throw the tortilla shell right on the grill, on the grates, and it cooks for like 25 seconds. Not very long because you don't want it to char up, but if you go ahead and just put it on there, you just want to heat it up a little bit to make it more pliable. If you want to put it in the microwave, you can just put it in the microwave between a couple sheets of damp paper towels. Same thing. We'll leave it on there for just a minute, or sorry, not a minute, for like 20 seconds or so, and then we can go ahead and build our taco. So this is great, obviously, for any Taco Tuesday, but it's also really good if you make extras. Because each slice is going to be about enough to make 8 tacos. So let me give you an idea. So the container that I bought is 14 ounces, and if you break that into 8 strips, that's going to be a little over 2 ounces per strip. So how much protein do you need? Varies by each particular person with their own nutritional needs, but you're probably going to want at least 2 tacos, or at least 2 strips. Maybe make 1 taco with 2 in there if your taco shell is big enough. But you want probably about 2 or so. So if you if you end up having extras, you can go ahead and stick it in the fridge, and the next day you can make more. So you can make it Taco Wednesday or Taco Thursday or whatever day of the week you're making tacos. All right, so I think this is soft enough. Yes, I think that's pretty good. All right, so we're gonna turn that off. We're gonna grab that taco shell, put it on a plate, move that out of the way. Go back. Sorry, my cat started to feel really hot. I forgot to get my oven mitt. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and grab one of these pieces. Stick it right there in the center. Here's a little bit of my cabbage that I was mentioning. I like the tricolor because it makes it so pretty. Because it's so much more exciting looking than just plain old boring lettuce color. I'm gonna use my little tongs again. A little bit of the cheese. However you like to make it up. One thing I don't have, because it's not really in season, is chopped tomatoes. I love chopped tomatoes on my salad. On my taco. But seeing that we're in the dead of winter, tomatoes are a little hard to come by. And a little squeeze of some lemon, and you can't have a taco without salsa. And a little drop of salsa. Since I don't have any tomatoes, that could take the place of it. Fold it over, and you are ready to go for Taco Tuesday. I hope you enjoyed this today. Hope to see you again soon. Thanks. Bye-bye.